spicy topic today. Do you need to go to university to do film? So, who wants to take the mantle?
On Ben.
To an extent.
Just a disclaimer as well. I was going to say, just a disclaimer as well. We're not trying to drive people. We're not trying to bash unis or say that unis are the best thing for you. We're just trying to give you a sense of what options are out there, basically.
Just opinions and that, yeah.
I think I lean more towards yes than no. I think my personal take on it is that the degree itself is actually quite useless. It's more the equipment you can get at uni, and also the connections you make are the
I think it's mainly the connections there,
because you can like the kit's free, and you also basically get to abuse your peers to do free labour. Because you go, let's make a film, and everyone's like, yeah, because they're all film students, and then you go make something. So rather than having to pay people and hire out kit, it's probably worth it.
We've been there.
Year one sucks ass, but 2 and 3 very, very good.
If you want to go to clubs and get drunk and that, year one's time to do it.
I think one misconception people have about film courses at uni is that it's all like practical based. If you're going to, I don't know, uni to study film, and you think, oh, we're just going to be making films constantly, yeah, to an extent, yeah, you do, but there's also the theory part, which I remember some people in our uni, they didn't particularly enjoy that because they thought, oh, we're just going to be making films. Why do we have to learn this? But to be fair, looking back, that was actually really important. Because you learn about the different techniques, and you learn about obviously the history behind it. And I've found some really good films through that. I remember the Idiots. Do you remember watching The Idiots? Oh my God! Did you not watch that one, Ben?
I don't think so. Not by name. It might have been a lecture Lord. I missed.
Yeah, Google that, Ben. Yeah, you don't want to miss out on The Idiots. But I thought that was crazy. Yeah, no, it's
no, I haven't seen this.
No, well, you want to see that, Ben. You definitely want to see that. Get that on your watch list. Put it to the top. But no, the theory stuff is important, really, because I don't know if you didn't have that part, how are you going to make a film? Because you don't really know much about films. You need to know about stuff before you actually start doing stuff. If you get what I mean. That's an awful way of explaining it.
I think also in year one, obviously you got to enjoy yourself and go out on the slash occasionally, right? But you also, I think my biggest advice and my biggest regret is not learning to drive in year one. Like in your summer break, learn to drive. It will get you with all the so much more work.
Yeah,
it's learn insane. To drive if you say if you go to any your local, I don't know, group about film and just say I'm at X uni this year looking for experience, I also have a car, willing to work for expenses, you're in. Like you'd be an idiot to turn them down, right? Because a runner, you don't really need to know much about film. You need to know how to drive a car, like baseline, and make drinks and stuff, right?
And Ben, I know you said earlier the actual film degree itself is kind of useless in a sense.
Yeah,
I'd say it's not. Standpoint. Obviously, the name of the degree is kind of it's film, but any degree when you're applying for a job looks good. Yeah. I think that's the thing that employers care about really. It's just the fact that you actually have a degree. That just proves that you can, stick to something for a long period of time and not give up. If you get what I mean.
I think my point more of was that obviously lots of things are based, like it was our one at least was like fairly balanced between theory and practical, right? And if you were more a practical person, you can't write for anything, right? Then you got, I don't know, a 2-2, right? Then but you have like some, because the writing side held you back, right? But if you have some kick-ass show reel, then the degree in that regard is worthless. Like
I suppose though, with the
it depends if you're going straight
writing
into
stuff.
film. Like if you go straight into film, the degree's worthless, right? Because they just go, we'll test you. If you're good, we'll keep you. If not, off you go, right? But if you've got it, like there's some intermission where you're like, I need a job just to live, and you go, well, I've got a degree, then that puts you obviously ahead. But it depends on your situation.
With the theory side, though, it doesn't obviously involve a lot of writing. To be fair, not as much writing as on a lot of courses.
No.
Like speaking to friends and stuff, it looks like we actually got it quite easy with the with the essays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially the dissertation.
Well, dissertation was 10K, right?
Yeah, which is kind of quite a bit less than what some of my friends had to do because theirs were based on pages instead of words. And it had to be a specific font size and everything. It was crazy. But I don't know. I think we got a bit more leeway with that, with the dissertation. Yeah. But also there is plenty of support for it because I think they realize, if you're going into film, you're probably less of the academic type and more of the creative type. But I think there was plenty of support there. It's just a case if you actually want to go and get that support. Which I didn't do, to be fair. But I mean,
no,
I managed to get by. But yeah, the support's definitely there. Go on, Jeff.
No, Hayden, what do you think?
Yeah, I do kind of agree with Adam in a way. The theory is important. It's important to learn the history about films and where specific genres come from, especially like I didn't know the slasher like genre came from Gallo films, which is Italian. Like I always thought it was from like American cinema. And I think that's a really important thing to learn about. I do agree that your degree in film production is going to be less valuable than say for example, like a degree in English, for example, because but obviously an English degree is going to be more highly looked at than a film degree. But I do also think that degrees can give you a head start in a way, maybe in like a different job. Say, for example, if you didn't want to go into film, like having that degree, like show it not just like shows the employer, you've studied film that like it shows so much more than that. Like you've taken 3 years out of your life, dedicated it to this one subject, and uni's not easy. Like I've seen the concept out there that so many people think it's like easy or it's just a way of getting a proper job and stuff like that. And I think that's so like stupid. Like that's such a stupid analogy to make because like I've worked. Like before I came to uni, I was working full time, and I can tell you, uni was harder than having a full-time job in a way. Because when you go to work, you leave work at your workplace normally, whereas with uni, the work's always there. So you've got to find your own self-motivation, and I think that's something that the employers can take away from your degree. It's that you've got that self-motivation to like get on with the work.
So you say it's harder, but does it depend on the year? Like first year, second year, third year?
Well, yeah, I do think first years get it a bit too easy personally. Personally, I think it should be harder because then it gets you prepared for your second year. It's not like a shit ton of bricks being dropped on you, kind of.
I was quite unmotivated in my first year, to be honest, just because obviously it was fine, we were learning stuff, but I don't know, it felt slow and it felt like, they weren't really pushing us in the first year. But I completely understand why, because obviously some people are obviously new to the subject. But yeah, I just feel as though if you go into uni for it, you've probably already got some experience in it.
I think also in our case, Adam, because we started in the same year, was that the fact that like within, I don't know, maybe 3 lectures of first year, they went, by the way, all you need to do this year is pass. It has no effect on your degree whatsoever.
That's the same with all courses though, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. This in general, I think uni is telling students that can just kind of bring down makes you go, what's the point?
Yeah, like, motivation, because you're like, well, there's no point me trying for a first. If it means nothing and I can just get away with it. Obviously, that's not a good way to outlook on things, right? But you just go, it doesn't count whatsoever. That's so just why would I put in my max effort? And then you get into that, that lower motivation, then you go into second year and it slaps you in the face. So it's probably not the way to go.
Yeah, I saw that with quite a few people.
I
saw that with quite a few people in first year.
I think that's just the thing unis need to change in general, really. The whole, the first year doesn't matter as long as you get by, it's all good.
Or just don't tell us.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
Literally just go like, this is your first year, off you go. Like, and then at the end you go, oh, by the way, this didn't matter. But this is like, obviously we've now got a feel for where you are in terms of level. Rather than going, okay, well, this means nothing. So then everyone goes, I don't know, probably between 40 and 60. Because there's no point pushing.